Hello, everybody. I am posting this because I feel like I need to. Um, I saw a post today on Facebook that basically said that for those of us who are Christians, that our lives and our faith should make non-believers question their disbelief. And that just kind of stuck out to me, and which is why I'm here talking to you now. So basically, this is just about, getting refocused on God and getting that passion back for Him. Because I gotta admit, I myself lose my godly focus a lot. And I'm not always the best example that I should be. And but lately I've just felt that passion for God just coming more and more and returning to me, and a lot of that's because I have been trying harder to actively seek God and to actively go to church, do Bible studies, to learn about Him, and actively praying and reading the Bible. And it's not always easy. It's really not. Going to church, for example, so much easier to sleep in. I mean, it's early, I'm tired, it'd be and I get tempted with that, like every Sunday pretty much, where I wake up and I'm kind of tired. I'm like, oh, we could just sleep in today, not go. We can go next week. But you want to know what happens when I do that? I don't go that Sunday. The next Sunday comes. I wake up. I'm like, well, we could just sleep in. What's another Sunday? Miss that Sunday. Before you know it, it's been like 6 weeks and I haven't gone to church. And to be honest with you, it shows in my faith and my relationship with God. It does. And not taking that initiation to get up and make it to church. And I know some think church doesn't matter, and but to be honest with you, I personally think it does. I could, there's been times I'm like, oh, I don't need to go to church today. I'll listen to a sermon later on TV, or I'll listen to a sermon later on the radio. But you want to know what happens? I get busy and I completely forget. And then another week goes by and I haven't listened to one sermon. I haven't learned anything new, gained any knowledge, So to me it is important because it keeps me on track. This is just my personal thing. When I go to church, it keeps me on track. It gets me into the Word. It helps me to learn. And the more that I do that, the more I crave it. The more I crave to learn more. Because I'm always amazed by how much I learn. Because the Bible's so deep that you could read it 10 times, and that 11th time you're still going to learn something new that you didn't see before the other 10 times you read it. So for me, it's important to go. I mean, you also develop a community with other Christians. You get to fellowship with them. If it weren't for church, I wouldn't worship God, I think, the same. Like, there's worship songs. There's, you have the communion once in a while. You have the offering. How would I give my tithing to God if I wasn't reminded of that? I don't know. For me, it's just a reminder thing. Also with praying, I mean, it's so easy to tell someone who's having a rough day or who's going through something like, oh, I will pray for you later. Then it's so much easier to say that than to actually grab their hand or to call them up on the phone and pray with them on the spot right then. I've noticed that myself. There's a lot of times, like on Facebook, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll pray for you. And the next day I'm like, oh, I completely forgot to pray for them. and then I'll sit there and make a mental note like, okay, well, I need to pray for them today. And then tomorrow, the next day comes, and I'm like, crap, I forgot to pray for them again, you know. And so sometimes people will notice that, like on Facebook, if someone's asking for prayer, then I write out a little prayer right then, because if I don't, chances are I'm going to forget. Sometimes I even write them down on a scrap of paper and have a running list going on that I can remind myself, hey, pray for these people. But it's very easy to forget those things. You know, we get busy and life gets in the way, and sometimes with some of us, when it comes to our faith, it's just, it's not convenient for us, you know. We have made growing in our faith an inconvenience, because it's just not easy for us. I mean, you know, we think, oh, well, I've got to get the cleaning done, I've got to do laundry, I've got to do dishes, I've got to cook dinner, I got to take my son to soccer practice, I got to take my daughter to gymnastics, I got to, do this, do that, and we lost our priorities, like our life and all of that stuff takes precedence, and we think that we just don't have time. I don't have time to read the Bible right now. I don't have time to pray right now. I'll do it later. And, that never comes. We completely forget, and then it just never happens. And, I mean, it's not a priority anymore. And we need to take time and remember that this life we have was given to us. It's a gift for us to be here, and we completely forget and neglect the very being that put us here, that made the life that we have for us. And one thing a preacher said one time that always stuck with me was, if something's really that important to you, you'll make time for it. Doesn't matter what it is. Same, like, let's say I don't have a lot of money, but, there's this very nice dress. I really want that dress, so I budget and I save money so I can get that dress. Well, we should have that same thing when it comes to God and our relationship with Him. We should make it important to us. We should make that time. It's not that we don't have time. We have the time. It's just other things came in and filled up that time, and they took priority over what should have been God's time. And, I mean, if you have to, schedule it. That's what I think I'm going to plan on doing, is actually scheduling down a time. This is my time for reading and my time for Bible study and all this. And that way, that time has already been given. So you have time now, and here's a daily reminder, do it. But, I mean, there's eternal consequences to not having that faith and belief in God. They're just, God shouldn't be a lucky charm that we use only when we're in trouble or when we honestly need Him. He should be our backbone. We shouldn't be putting Him on the back burner all the time. He should be at the forefront of our lives. And, what I've noticed is, like, the closer I get to God and the more my relationship grows, then the more passion I feel for Him, the more drive I have to learn, the more I see His hand in everything, the more I'm able to think more positively. You learn to love people, you gain more understanding and more love, and it has to be a constant, actively seeking Him, constantly. It's a never-ending relationship. It has to be worked on every single day, and we need to learn to maintain that same thing. I'm losing my words here, but I'm pretty sure y'all know what I mean. Because when you are a Christian, you are saying that you are a representation of Christ. You are an example of who Christ was, and how many of us are truly that example. I mean, really, lately, you think I am? No. And we should be. So we need to start evaluating ourselves, evaluating our lives, and seeing where we need to work on it. And we need to take that initiative and make a change in our lives so we can make a change in others. And people will see that when God is a priority to you, others will see that. There's that famous line that if you were arrested for being a Christian, is there enough evidence to convict you? So we need to ask ourselves, is there enough evidence to show that I'm a Christian? Like, honestly, is there? I mean, I know several who I don't really honestly know if they're Christian. I mean, they kind of seem like they are, but they never came out and said it. In their lives, you can't really tell. So, it needs to be a definite, yes, they're a Christian. Yes, they are. So, we need to turn a new leaf, people. Christians out there, we need to regain that passion. We need to be actively seeking God. We need to get out there. We need to get involved. We need to be diving into His Word. We need to be praying. We need to be doing all of these things. And just looking at the world around me in the news today, I can see it's just lacking. It's just lacking in the world today, and it's showing. And we need to do something about it. So we need to get our lives on track, and we need to show people that what the glory of God looks like, and start a fire. I've had this song by Unspoken in my head for days, and I don't know if it's because I needed to say this to all of you, but their song Start a Fire in my head for days, and I just keep singing, start a fire in my soul, fan the flame, make it grow, so that there's no doubt or denying. So I don't know, it's just, I've just been having strong feelings lately, and I want to shake people, some people, I'm just like, come on, people, let's go, let's get out there, let's show people. There's just such a lack of passion, it seems, in the Christian community anymore, and I'll be honest, I've lost it a lot of times. I lose focus. It's a struggle every day. You have to work on it every day, and I'm learning that, and I plan on turning over a new leaf and trying to put all my focus on God with everything. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. It is not going to be very fun or convenient at times, but in the end, you reap what you sow. And God is there for us always, and He will get you through anything. He has never let me down. So I don't know, I feel like I'm letting Him down. And I don't want to feel like that anymore. So, stepping up. And this is part of my start. So get out there. Get involved. Starting a fire. Started a fire in my soul. Let's start a fire in yours, and let's spread it. Alright, y'all. Let's get refocused, and let's go.